You are watching KVU 25 News Now at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Adam Seibel. The Texas House has voted to impeach Attorney General Ken Paxton. The GOP-controlled state House of Representatives voted 121 to 23 to adopt the 20 articles of impeachment. District 30 Representative Jeannie Morrison was one of those 23 who voted no on Paxton's impeachment. The historic vote temporarily suspends Paxton, a Republican, from his duties over claims of bribery, abuse of public trust, and other allegations. The focus now shifts to the Texas Senate for a trial, which will take 2/3 of support from senators to permanently remove Paxton from office. The impeachment comes after months of investigations led by a bipartisan Republican majority committee in the Texas House. Moments after the vote, Paxton's office said the impeachment was, quote, based on totally false claims. And we've got Capitol reporter Renzo Downey from the Texas Tribune, who's been covering the Texas legislature after a busy weekend. So here's this week's Capitol report.
Yesterday, we had the impeachment of Attorney General Ken Paxton, and this is the first time in about half a century that the Texas House has taken up impeachment proceedings, and it was a pretty overwhelming vote. It was 121 to 23 with only 23 Republicans voting against. There were a couple of folks who abstained from both parties, but I mean, overwhelmingly, this kind of showed the discontent that there is among members of the legislature with Attorney General Ken Paxton.
Now, I just kind of, from a historical perspective, has this ever happened before, or they've taken up impeachment votes? It's just been a long time, and has anyone ever been impeached in Texas history?
Yeah, so the first time there's a successful impeachment was back in 1917. That was the House impeaching the governor at the time, and they also impeached someone in the 70s. There was a district judge that got impeached, but this time was a little different. You kind of heard some members, a lot of those 23 that voted against, it wasn't so much because they thought that Ken Paxton didn't, violate his oath of office. It was more that they didn't like the process here, that it was presented to them within 48 hours of that impeachment vote, and they only had that time to consider the facts. And in these previous impeachments, I mean, they did it over the course of weeks. So there is a lot of grumblings that maybe the House should have taken its time on this.
And then, speaking of the no votes, Representative Jeannie Morrison, she was one of the no votes.
Yes, exactly, and she says that it was really about the process. That one of the longer-serving members of the House, he really kind of laid out argument of, we needed more time. This is breaking precedent. We're setting a bad precedent here. And that's kind of how she sided with it.
Moving forward, what's next? I mean, he's out, he's impeached. So what does that mean for him? And then I guess the legislature as a whole.
Yeah, so technically he's still the Attorney General, but he has been suspended of his duties pending that Senate trial. So we don't know yet when the Senate is going to hold that trial. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but it could be a matter of weeks, could be a matter of months of them, sitting down and deliberating this. And especially considering how quickly the House moved through the impeachment vote, the trial is probably going to be a little more drawn out, try to make sure that due process element gets taken care of. And when you're considering what else the House had to get done, what the Senate had to get done, there's still some major priorities that the regular order of business that members had to get done. Some of those look like they're not going to cross the finish line. So we might be having a special session for the next week, 10 days or so, just to wrap up those final things that didn't get covered at the end here.
So this brings us to your viewer poll this evening. You can scan that QR code on your screen to vote right now. So the question is, was enough time given to decide Ken Paxton's impeachment? Let's take a look at these results. It looks like 76% say yes, sufficient time was given for them to debate and decide on that impeachment, but 24% say no, more time was needed. Thank you all for voting, and remember, come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate. All right, it's time to talk weather on this Sunday night. Howie, you mentioned we might get some rain tomorrow, which is unfortunate because I know we've got some Memorial Day events planned for here in the Crossroads.
You know what I said earlier, Adam? 3 out of 4 days, 75% of the holiday weekend looking good. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but showers look to move into the area tomorrow. Now, we had a few just rogue light stray showers. Most of it maybe not even reaching the surface, but off to the west, northwest, there are some storms. They're going to head our way, meeting up with some Gulf moisture. And tomorrow, we're looking at some showers here in the Crossroads, maybe even some heavy rain. Here's our winds. Yeah, pretty much getting down to the calm side throughout a good portion of the area. Overnight now, down to 69, partly cloudy, but rain showers look to begin as early as tomorrow morning. They can last till Tuesday. We're going to touch more on that coming up in just a bit, Adam.
All right, thanks, Howie. After weeks of tense and sometimes bitter negotiation, President Biden and House Speaker McCarthy still have to clear one more hurdle, getting both the Senate and the House to approve the measure before the country runs out of cash. The new deadline, June 5th. We are dangerously close to that deadline. Tonight, some hardline Republicans and Democrats are slamming the deal, upset about some of the concessions made to raise the country's debt limit. So getting votes in the House and Senate might be difficult.
Tonight, with the world's most powerful economy at stake, President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy finally striking a deal to prevent the U.S. government from running out of cash to pay its bills.
The agreement prevents the worst possible crisis, a default, for the first time in our nation's history.
Do you wish you had started these negotiations sooner?
No, it wouldn't make any difference.
Biden and McCarthy clinching an agreement that would lift the nation's $31 trillion debt ceiling for 2 years through the 2024 presidential election, while also placing new restraints on federal spending. The 99-page bill released late tonight. Both leaders admit they made compromises.
It doesn't get everything everybody wanted, but that's in divided government. That's where we end up.
Sources tell ABC News the budget deal keeps most federal spending roughly flat next year, raising it by 1% in 2025. Defense spending would increase. Also included new work requirements, putting time limits on how long some Americans up to age 54 can receive food assistance. Sources say the bill would also preserve Social Security, Medicaid, and veterans benefits.
How confident are you today that this bill will pass on Wednesday?
You're going to have Republicans and Democrats be able to move this to the president. The president agreed with this bill as well.
But hardline conservatives like GOP Virginia Congressman Bob Good are already accusing McCarthy of too many concessions, writing, quote, "No one claiming to be a conservative could justify a yes vote." Tonight, the deal's negotiators on defense.
This is the most conservative spending package in my service in Congress.
Some Democrats also skeptical.
And I think it is really unfortunate that the president opened the door to this.
I'm anything but a clear yes vote at this point.
With the default looming until the president signs a bill,
these are people's lives.
Single mom of four Megan Hollinger in West Virginia fears delays to her critical Medicaid and food assistance benefits.
So there are other bills that either are going to go unpaid or we're not going to eat. I mean, it's just as simple as that.
All right, you can grab your cell phone and scan this QR code. This is our quick response code to download the free Crossroads Today app. You can watch us anytime, anywhere, and get breaking news alerts and vote in those viewer polls. You can also learn about our ongoing contests right there on the app. You can also submit news tips and photos. Stay with us. Coming up, Texas Republicans have approved a pair of bills targeting the election process in Harris County.
Our Memorial Day holiday weekend looks to end with some showers. We'll talk more about it in just a bit.
Texas Republicans have approved a pair of bills targeting the elections process in Harris County, our largest county and home to Houston, with voting rights activists accusing the GOP of plotting what they're calling a power grab in an increasingly Democratic county. Today, lawmakers passed legislation known as SB 1933 that would authorize the Office of the Texas Secretary of State, an Abbott appointee, to order administrative oversight of county elections office. The measure would affect any county that has a population of more than 4 million people. Harris County is the only county in Texas that meets that criterion. Last week, the state house passed a measure along party lines that would eliminate the position of elections administrator in a county with a population of more than 3.5 million people. Under that bill, known as SB 1750, the elections administrator's duties would be transferred to the county tax assessor, collector, and county clerk. If signed, the law would go into effect on September 1st. The Victoria Veterans Council will host its annual Memorial Day ceremony tomorrow. The ceremony begins at 11 a.m. at De Leon Plaza in downtown Victoria. There will be a ringing of the bell as names of deceased veterans are read aloud. The council then will have a wreath-laying ceremony. And then later that evening, Warriors Weekend will host its Memorial Day services at 8:15 Monday night at the Field of Honor next to Parkway Church, 4802 North John Stockbauer Drive. There will be a flag retirement and a reading of the 441 names of Golden Crescent Patriots who have been killed in action while serving in the military. And Memorial Day road trips up 6% over last year in Texas, and TxDOT's reminding motorists and their passengers to buckle up this holiday weekend. From now through Sunday, June 4th, law enforcement from around the state will be ticketing motorists who are not buckled up. State law requires every person in a vehicle wear your seatbelt, whether you're in the front or back, and fines and court costs for failing to do so could add up to $250. For more on today's news stories, come to crossroadstoday.com. Don't forget to submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Strain will read them live on 25 News Now Sunrise. You can also submit a local military hero. This month's military hero segment will air this Tuesday.
Showers headed our way. We'll talk about it straight ahead. All right, some more dry, warm weather we experienced today, but tomorrow is a different day. That's right, showers Monday, maybe some heavy, excessive rain at times, but then we dry off later on in the week. Now today we stayed around 86 degrees, about 5 degrees below average. Clouds and a little bit of showery activity for the most part. That did slow down our sun from heating us to maybe being 99 degrees like we were in 2018, but we know it could be very warm this time of year. Here's our radar. So yeah, very minuscule amounts of shower activity, very, very, very widely scattered at best. You open it up, okay, a little bit of rain activity out to the west. These storms are going to move in, collide with some of the Gulf moisture, creating some lift. Then we got the sun destabilizing the atmosphere. Yeah, we're looking at some showers on Monday that could linger into Tuesday. Then we'll dry off, though, later on in the week. Here's our dew points, okay, on the, I don't want to say oppressive, but pretty much on the out of normal feeling levels of discomfort when we get to be about 60. Now we're pushing 70, 70 plus in some spots. All right, here's our winds. Yeah, on the coast, on the calm side, move away from the water. Winds not too bad. So maybe those breezes felt good when it's kind of stuffy like it is. But we're gonna have another thing cooling us down tomorrow. Not the wind, but the rain and the cloud cover. All right, high pressure out there in the Gulf. High pressure off to the west, but in the middle, storms moving in to the area. So here's what we have. We could see some rain early tomorrow morning into the afternoon. Showers, yeah, maybe not a complete washout, but heavy rain at times. But by Tuesday, yeah, it looks like some of these showers will still be lingering around, but then they'll push off later Tuesday into Wednesday. We're headed to drier times. High pressure will start building back into the area, keeping us on the clear and dry side until maybe the weekend. Things will start all over again. Maybe some more showers. Here's our other future tracker. Here is what we have. So yeah, storms moving in on Monday, then some lingering storms on Tuesday, but after Tuesday, still got the storms Tuesday. After Tuesday, yeah, we look to dry off really for the rest of the work week. All right, here's what we got for our marine forecast. Water-wise, a temperature of 82, seas just 2 feet. That's going to keep our bays on the smooth side. Looking ahead next couple of days. Now, the biggest problem really for being out there on the water is going to be the water in terms of the rain showers, because the water temps are good, winds are on the lighter side, but hey, we have the showery activity taking place over the course of the next couple of days. Tropical cyclone activity, we had that storm moving into the Carolinas, bringing rain and wind yesterday, but now fizzled out. So right now, tropical cyclone activity not expected over the next 48 hours, with the official first day of hurricane season beginning Thursday, June 1st. All right, let's advance here. 69 degrees overnight, partly cloudy, seasonal. Tomorrow, though, showers for Memorial Day with a high of 88, mostly cloudy, but 60% chance we see some showers. Looking ahead, here is what we have. So rain Monday, I talked about it lingering into Tuesday. Then we start to dry off for the better part of the work week, with temperature staying around average, around 90 degrees, but then maybe some more rain chances for Saturday and for Sunday. For more weather, news, and sports, get our app. That's at crossroadstoday.com, and that is free with any Android and iPhone. And waiting for sports right now, that's right, here's Zach.
Howie, thank you. The Houston Astros tie a franchise record. I'll have that coming up in sports. Well, what did Jaylen Brown say when Boston was down 3-0? Don't let us get one. Well, now they've got three. Jimmy Butler fouled on his three-pointer with 3 seconds left. Ice in his veins, though. He's going to nail all three. Now with just 3 seconds to go, Boston down 1, but hoping for a prayer. Marcus Smart for the win. That is no good, but the putback looked late. After discussion, they say it counts, and you're going to see in the replay, they did get it off just in time. That means Game 7 tomorrow night in Boston. No team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit. And we had 3 teams at the start of last week and now down to just 1. Hallettsville couldn't quite make it, taking on the defending state champs, the London Pirates. Brain was down 1-0 early with London threatening for more, but a great throw from the outfield is going to cut down the runner at home plate. Now later on in the 6th inning, Brain was down 3-0. Suddenly have life. Great opposite field power. Gets it over the head of the left fielder. 1 run scores. The tying runners in scoring position, but they would only push across 1 more, and London would tack on 2 in their half of the inning to survive the tough Hallettsville Brahmas. They lose left fielder Brant Trilicek, but everyone else returns. Shiner softball lost a tough series as well to Weimer on a walk-off homer to end their season, so that means the lone team moving on. Shiner baseball, after winning Game 1 4-0, and Game 2 they made easy work of Mumford, winning that one 9-2. Pitchers Ryan Peterson and Drew Winsky carry the load for the Shiner pitching staff, both allowing just 2 hits apiece in their start. Shiner advances to the regional final. All games will be at Marion High School as they face Johnson City, with Game 1 set for Thursday at 7 p.m. Game 2 would be Friday at 5, and if necessary, Game 3 would be immediately after Game 2. Good luck to the Shiner Comanches on their quest for a state title. Now from the high school circuit to the major league circuit. The first place Texas Rangers trying to extend their winning streak to 5. Now, unfortunately, that would end at the hands of the tough Baltimore Orioles. Rangers fell down 2-0 early, tied it in the 8th, but in the bottom half of the inning, Baltimore regained the lead. Final score, 3-2. Meanwhile, the Astros had the privilege of beating up on the worst team in baseball. Jordan, an early bomb, makes it 1-0, and like a good neighbor, Jake Myers is there. 3-run shot makes it 4-1. The Astros hit 7 homers on the day. They win 10-1. And one of those 7 homers, Jose Abreu, who had been awful to this point in the season, finally hits his first. So how does he celebrate? A full-on sprint all the way around the bases, and when he finally crosses home plate, he's going to go into a full-on slide greeted by everyone. Now, the A's didn't like that, so they drilled him in his next at-bat, but maybe this is what gets the 3-year, $58 million signing going. And a scary scene out on the Indy 500. Multiple crashes, including flipped vehicles. Some wild footage from inside the vehicle shows the car overturning, sparks flying everywhere. In a separate crash, a tire actually flew into the crowd, hit someone's car. No major injuries were reported. Now, Adam, if I was the driver, probably the last time I'm ever driving. If I was in the crowd, probably the last time I'm ever going.
Yeah, that's really scary. I wondered why, NASCAR and racing things have such tall fences. I guess it's for accidents like that to keep you safe. Thank you, Zach. Stay with us. Coming up, the annual National Memorial Day concert return to the West Lawn of the U.S. Capitol. Return to the West Lawn of the U.S. Capitol for a night of remembrance. This is the 34th year that PBS has broadcast the all-star event honoring our country's veterans, servicemen and women, and military families. The concert pays tribute to those who died serving our nation. Tonight, country music star Trace Adkins kicked things off singing his song, The Empty Chair. He's one of the many award-winning singers and musicians who took part in the event. The American Tradition is one of PBS's highest-rated programs. You know, Trace Adkins is pretty good. I don't listen to much of him, but you said you know one of his songs?
I don't know. Honky Tonk Badonka Donk, is that one of them?
It might be.
I'm not a big country guy, but I think I saw him on The Apprentice.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, I don't really know.
Either way, great event out there. Trace Adkins. Let's take one last look at our weather before we hit officially Memorial Day in about an hour and 31 minutes from now. But tomorrow, different story. We've been dry, hot, sunshine abundantly for most of the weekend, but now we're looking at some showers for our Memorial Day Monday. Overnight tonight, down to 69, partly cloudy skies. And then for tomorrow, yes, we can see some showers. We'll warm up pretty good, but hey, we're going to see some rain and cloud cover. That'll eventually cool us down. Looking ahead, showers can linger into Tuesday. Then we dry off the rest of the week.
All righty. Thank you all for being with us, and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads, today. Have a good night, everybody.